What's going on, guys? It's Mike Cole here, Life of a Fighter at the UFC gym, Huntington Station. So what I want to go over today is how we're going to wrap our hands. Okay, it's a common question and topic that comes up with new members, with clients that I have, with anybody that comes into the gym that's really not familiar with wrapping their hands, or someone that just hasn't done it in a while. So we're going to go over my personal preference technique that I learned from Sean Tompkins when I was out in Vegas that I really liked. The way he did it, kept it simple, rule of threes, and it's very effective and protects your hand. So I'm going to go over that with you guys, okay? So we're going to start with 180-inch wraps. I already rolled mine out, okay? And these are the main event ones you get here at the UFC gym. And what you're going to do is they're always going to start Velcro. So you're just going to unvelcro them, roll them out, and you're going to look for the loop, okay? Especially if it's the first time using your wraps. So this is the loop right here. Every wrap you're going to have is going to have this part right here, the loop. That's what's going to go on your thumb. Okay, you're going to have stitching on one side where it's going to look a little ugly and rough, and then you're going to have a nice flat side. Okay, some actual wraps that aren't the main event ones, they'll actually say this side down, which is for us, the stitching side. That's going to, when we loop our thumb, that's the side that's going to face our skin. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start, I'm just going to drop the camera down so you guys can see. What we're going to do is we're going to start going over the wrist. Okay, because I always like to start with the wrist, and that's how I learned, because it's going to protect our hand at the end of the day. So I personally like to make a fist so that it's actually supporting our hand when we're punching, and it's not going to have a little bit of slack when we're actually going to be hitting, okay? So we're going to go over the thumb, make a fist, go over 3 times, okay? Nice and simple, 3 times over. Each time we're going to bring it over, and you're going to go right by, underneath your thumb by the crook. Okay, so you have nice support there where your wrist joint is. So we go 3 times. Now we're going to go 3 times over the thumb, and then underneath again, and then back around the wrist. Okay, so we're going to do that a total of 3 times. And if at any point it starts to fold over, you just straighten your wrap back out. We do it again. So it's going to look like this. We go over the thumb, back underneath, like we're lassoing it, and then we're going to go over the wrist, okay, so we get nice support. Once we do that 3 times, we're going to move on to the next part. And that's, again, a reason why I like the 180-inch, because we can go over a couple times and make sure we have good support. So again, the thumb is anchored, it's supported with our wrist. Now we're going to move up to the knuckles, okay? So for this one, we're going from over the wrist, we're going to cross up to our knuckles, and we're going to wrap it 3 times. Okay, in between, this is the only time I like to open my hand. Okay, in between wrapping, I open my hand up and then close it just to make sure that I have a good amount of support there, but it's not too tight. Okay, we're gonna again do that 3 times. So once we've gone over our thumb 3 times, our wrist 3 times, and our knuckles 3 times, you should really not have any kind of open areas throughout your hand. Okay, the only thing that's gonna be open is kind of right here in your palm. Now we have a little bit of slack left, which you should have. And if that's the case with the 180-inch, like I said, you should. We're going to go back we're going to go back over. So right when you rack by your pointer finger, you're going to go over your wrist, back under, and now we're going to go in between the fingers, okay? We're going to go in between the pinky and our ring, bring it back underneath, and pull it down. So really, the concept behind this is to just make sure that your wraps don't slide out when you're punching on the bag, hitting mitts, or even in sparring. So realistically, 1 time is enough, but some people like to have that in there for a spacer and to also give a little bit extra support. So if you're one of those people, what you can do is we wrap it back under, and I personally like to go over my wrist, again, just to add extra support because I have a little bit of a wrist weakness. And then from there, we go over the wrist, and now we bring it back up, and now we're going to make an X. So we're crossing over the opposite way. So we brought it up and around, now we cross it back over, under the wrist, making sure, again, the wrap is nice and straight. And now last time through, we're going to go under the wrist, and now I like to go back up through the middle finger and the pointer finger, and again, making an X, bringing it back across, closing up the hand, bringing it back. Now if you see the X pattern right here as we've crossed our wraps, okay? So now we have good support, our knuckles are nice and laced up. Now we have a little bit of slack. What I like to do is take that, go over the top, and go one more time around the knuckles just to kind of hide the wraps because I like it to look nice and clean. And then we're going to bring it back down, and I like to support the wrist, okay? I like to slowly wrap it down, again, to hide any, open wrap or any kind of open skin that you might see. We go right around the wrist, bringing it down, making sure we have a closed fist supporting. And then we're going to make sure that we have the Velcro a little bit lower down, just so that it doesn't continuously slide as we're punching. A little bit lower down, and there you go. You got a nice clean wrap. All right, guys, if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Check you guys later.